Hi, welcome back. Dave from Kingsman PSC here. So again today, we're going to talk about the data breach from National Public Data. Okay, but I'm going to give you some resources on how you can check to see if your information has been compromised. Well, it's very critical that you know that you've been compromised and what types of information. Now, the sites I'm going to give you um, aren't initially going to tell you what's been compromised, like and entirely, but they're going to give you some of that information that was, and so you can gauge that and uh, put an assumption on what else you think they got with that information, right? And then here at the end, I'll give you another resource that you can utilize on a regular basis to see if your information has been uh, basically compromised. It's a very good resource that I like to use. But for right now, let's just stick to the national public data because this one is pretty significant. All right, so this is the first one I would like to share with you. This is a really great tool if you're looking to see if your information was compromised in the national public data breach. So to check it, you're just simply going to put in the information, your first name, your last name, the state that you live in, and your year of birth. Now, when I did this, I got to tell you, I put in my actual birth date and it wouldn't go through. So then when I just put the year I was born, then it came through. And this information was really helpful because I also after I pressed the search, I got to scroll and see all the people with the same name as I have. But I also found that uh, mine had shown up several times in different spots on the page, and so just because you see your name once doesn't mean it won't appear again. And it will tell you what got compromised as far as on this, but it'll give you an idea of what information got out there. So if you're curious to see if your information was leaked or compromised from national public data, this is a great resource to use. Again, this site was put up by a security firm called Pentester. And so here below you can see I put the link so you can go right to it. You can type it in. I'll also put the link in the descriptions below. But if you're concerned, use this one. All right. We're going to go to the next one. All right. So this one comes from um, Atlas Data Privacy Corporation. So Atlas, thank you for putting that out there for the public to use. This is another easy and free tool for you to use. Simply what I did, simply just put all this information, the first and last name, I put in my zip code. I did not put in my social security number, but I did put in my telephone number. I hit search and then it populated some information. It told me what had been compromised and some things to look for. So it was very helpful to me. And it turns out that my information was compromised from both of these sites. My information was compromised. Um, and so you can also see that in April, this is when the hacking group US DoD claimed it had stole 2.9 million people's personal records from national public data. It's got more information below it that's pretty useful to read too. Um, and then at the bottom, if your information was compromised or you had some identity theft stuff going on, it gave some resources for you to utilize in that as well. And so this was a very good tool. Again, here's the website npdbreach.com. And then the last one I'm going to show you is it doesn't necessarily pertain to the national public data breach, but it's a good tool for you to use, throughout the year. From time to time, I like to use it every now and again, and I will share that with you here right now. All right, and here it is. This is one of my favorite sites to use. This is the one I use regularly just to check and see if any of my data is floating out of there, whether it's big or small. Um, have I been pawned? great website to use. So what you do is you just install your email address in there and you hit pond, and then it'll populate anything that is shown up where your information might be compromised. So very useful, especially if you're wearing, Fitbits or any kind of device. Maybe you'll find out your email had been compromised, but there's a lot of different things that this will pick up, and I just find it to be a beneficial tool, mainly so if you watch the first video, I had mentioned that, once the data has been breached, it's not in real time that you get that notification that your stuff's been compromised. Usually it's a period of time. And so I like to check this on a regular basis so that I can try to stay ahead of the curve if there's any breaching that has been done, right? Then I can go back through and do all my privacy things and figure out kind of how these breaches happened or where they happened at. And I can start, hardening up a little bit more. And so this is why I find this one to be beneficial. Um, just a great resource. So I encourage you to check all three of these out. And remember, if the bad guys got the information already, you're still behind the curve. So now you have to know what to do about it, right? So protect yourself, utilize these, and just keep learning about your privacy and about your information. Okay, try to limit the amount of information that goes out about you. In the next upcoming videos, we'll talk a little bit about that and how you can start removing some of your information from online sources and giving you some good privacy tips. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you on the next one. God bless.